So now we'll talk about some Indiana-specific things and how Indiana EMS is designed. So Indiana EMS is regulated by the Indiana Department of Homeland Security, and here you see their website. So this will take you to Department of Homeland Security, and then from there you would need to pick, if you want to know about EMS information, you need to pick EMS from their menus. The Department of Homeland Security manages a lot of things within the state of Indiana, EMS being one of them. So the Indiana Department of Homeland Security has an executive director, Stephen Cox, who's been newly appointed, I believe in early January. The executive director is appointed by the governor. The executive director manages the divisions of Emergency Response and Recovery, Division of Fire and Building Services, Division of Planning and Assessment, and the Division of Training and Preparedness. EMS is housed under the Division of Fire and Building Services. So the Department of Homeland Security has 10 districts around the state. And the goal for state government with agencies that deal with anything related to public health is to try to have similar type of districts. So the Indiana State Department of Health has very similar type districts as this as well. So the Department of Homeland Security functions include the state fire marshal, code enforcement and plan review, certification, planning, emergency and disaster response, training and exercise, grants, field services, and recovery and mitigation. So as you might think, that the Homeland Security deals with, for example, natural disasters, and in planning for those, and in mitigation, and recovery, and so forth. So you'll notice with the map of the state of Indiana here, in Harrison County, we are in District 9. However, we're at the very end, the bottom end of District 9. So we have District 8 that is right above us, just north of us, which encompasses Washington County, Orange County, and others north of that. And then District 10 comes as far over as Crawford County and Perry County, and goes all the way over to the state of Illinois. So there are sometimes we will do things within training that encompass different districts because we are so close. Even though we're in District 9, we are so close to District 8 and District 10. But each district does have their group that meets and discusses things that are specific to those districts. The Indiana EMS Commission was formed in 1974 by the Indiana General Assembly. Again, remembering back from the previous video that during the 1970s there was a lot of money flowing into the states to develop EMS systems. So the Indiana EMS Commission was one of the results of that era. So currently the Indiana EMS Commission consists of 14 members. They're all appointed by the governor, and they serve different communities of interest. So these are the current names of all the 14 members as of the recording of this video. And I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I will say that they do enjoy hearing from the EMS community so that they have a feel for where the thinking is of the EMS community, where they would like to go. But I am going to mention the communities of interest that they represent. So you'll see currently Lee Turpin is the chairperson of the commission, and Chuck Valentine is the co-chair. But we have represented here private ambulance, we have hospital ambulance services, municipal fire service, paramedics, EMTs, emergency nurses, volunteer EMS, emergency physicians, ALS training institutions, volunteer fire departments, trauma physicians, the Department of Homeland Security, There is a public representative that is not involved in any way in EMS or providing EMS. And then you have an aeromedical representative as well. So these individuals meet 6 times a year, and their meetings are open, and they do encourage, they enjoy seeing the EMS community there at their meetings. Depending on what they're discussing, they will have entertain public comment. So if you want to know more about the EMS Commission, feel free to talk to me. I attend most of the meetings, and so if you want more information, feel free to ask. So talking about EMS continuing education, this is very important because one of the problems that the state sees is with new EMTs that sometimes they don't understand what the continuing education requirements are for the state. So we have 4 levels in the state: emergency medical responder, emergency medical technician, advanced emergency medical technician, and paramedic. So the EMR has to do 20 hours every year of continuing education, and it's very non-specific as long as it relates back to the EMR curriculum. The emergency medical technician, or EMT, does 40 hours. I'm sorry, this is every 2 years. I think I stated every year. This is every 2 years. So the EMR does 20 hours every 2 years. The EMT does 40 hours every 2 years, plus skill verification. The advanced EMT does 56 hours every 2 years, plus skill verification. There are some changes coming to this. We're not sure when. There is a rule rewrite in progress that has been underway for about 2 years, and we're being told we have anywhere from 6 to 12 months left before those rules may go into effect. And so it's part of the state bureaucratic process. But there are some changes coming to rules throughout the EMS community in Indiana, but specifically with continuing education and the advanced EMT. So paramedics are required to do 72 hours every 2 years, plus show evidence of current CPR certification, plus current ACLS certification, plus their skill verification. So all EMS providers are on a 2-year renewal cycle. If a provider expires, they are no longer certified. So once the date of your, once you get certified as an EMT, if you pass that date and you have not recertified, then you are no longer certified. And this is important because with the way the billing mechanisms are in billing CMS, Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance, if you bill for a service that you're not providing, that's considered fraud. And so if your provider is no longer certified, then you're billing for that service, then that's considered fraud. So if the state does request that, and actually the rules state that you have to turn in your continuing education 30 days prior to when it expires. This gives them time to actually act on it and do anything that they might need to do. If you do expire and you're under 120 days expired and your continuing education is completed prior to your expiration date, you can get your certification back by, it's a paper process, so it takes some time, but you'll pay a $50 fee, turn in the paperwork, completed paperwork showing all your continuing education, and they'll give you your certification or licensure back. Renewal is completed online with random audits. Those that are audited have 3 business days to get the completed paperwork to the Department of Homeland Security. So it is important that before you do the online renewal that you have all your paperwork completed and signed, because 3 days is not a long time to run around and get signatures and track down your medical director and track down the CEO of your organization, etc. So it is important that you have that paperwork completed prior to renewing online. IDHS has indicated there's an increasing number of fraudulent recertifications after they do their audits. So the EMS Commission is considering some very stiff penalties for this. They have not voted on anything yet, but they have discussed this at the EMS Commission meetings, and the suggestions and ideas that they are discussing are very stiff. So it is important that no one have an intent of defrauding the state government.